Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.
Welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. Here now is your host, Jennifer Miele, Chief Communications Officer and Managing Director of Evangelization of the Diocese of Greensburg.
Welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections on WHJB. I'm your host, Jennifer Miele. So happy today to have Amy Halula. She's the RSVP coordinator at Westmoreland County Community College. She's going to talk to us today about RSVP and its program for volunteers that's connected to senior citizens, as well as APPRISE, which is an organization that helps seniors learn more about their Medicare options. So, Amy, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm very well, and thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, we're glad to talk to you. And anytime we have the opportunity to spread the word about help that's available, and engage people to get involved and be active caring for the seniors of our community, I always think it's a great idea. So before we dive into the different programs and initiatives today, I want to hear a little bit about you. We always like to start out by asking our guests to talk about where they grew up, what their education was, work experience, and then how they got involved in the job they are in now. So take it away, Amy. Tell us a little bit about you. Okay,
thank you. I'm originally from Greensburg and live in the Greensburg Latrobe area. And so I have my education from Duquesne, and I have a master's degree in human services and aging programs. And I have been in this type of field for over 35 years, so it's a long time. It's dating me, I'm sure. So I've always been involved, again, with the seniors and a lot of volunteerism. And after my children started school, I decided to go back to working, and there was an opening at the college, and here I am.
Wonderful. And tell us about what your day-to-day activities involve.
I have really, how people say you wear several hats. I have also the hat of being the APPRISE coordinator, and APPRISE is the state health insurance counseling program. And so I am taking calls throughout the community of individuals that are seeking information or assistance with Medicare related questions, insurance questions, prescriptions, as well as calls and looking for working with community agencies and what their volunteer needs are, and then trying to look for volunteers through our volunteer bank and trying to match them up and place them, helping other organizations with maybe community projects they're doing, trying to work with them. So it varies day to day.
Well, it sounds exhausting, and I'm glad that you have some because that's certainly a lot on your plate.
Well, it's a lot of talking.
Well, then you're perfect for this radio show because that's...
Yes, I am.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of the work that's being done in your office, and particularly as it relates to the aging demographic of Westmoreland County. So tell us a little bit about, is your workload growing because of that aging demographic? And, what is the technological aptitude of seniors these days? Are more on the computer, or is it still a phone-based service? Tell us a little bit about that.
The volunteers, it is starting to change. I would have to say the majority of the volunteers with our program, though, are still with the phone or in-person type of volunteering. We have probably, I'd say, still about 80% of the volunteers that are in that bracket. We do have the younger senior that's, starting to come. However, we are finding that particular demographic of volunteers like to come and go as they please with projects or their timing. They're just not quite the same as the individual that was from say that are in their 70s and 80s now. They were more tuned to volunteering, wanting to volunteer all the time, took a lot of pride in it. The other volunteers now, they still take pride, but they just have different focuses, and probably still, some might be caring for grandchildren, working part-time, so forth. So it's different groups.
But all of them, I'm sure, bring a special skill set to your volunteer.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the skill set of the volunteer bank. I mean, on any given day, what could you find those volunteers doing in service to the community? A lot, probably, I shouldn't say the majority, but a lot of our volunteers are assisting with the Meals on Wheels programs or the home delivered meal programs that are offered throughout the county. That making sure that these isolated seniors or homebound seniors are, being cared for, and when they do deliver the food, they're, checking on the individual, of course, not going inside at this point, but, looking out for their welfare. The food banks also, we have a lot of interest in volunteers working with that. Also, really anything to keep the frailer individual in their home seems to be the priority where, individuals are working or trying, to work, assist with that. The program right now, we're also have a lot of volunteers involved with the AARP tax program. We have over 40-some volunteers, that are trained and certified tax preparers, doing free taxes in the community. On the other scope of it, we have individuals that are taking leadership roles with nonprofits as far as, assisting and scheduling maybe other volunteers for their projects, doing community outreach. We do have some individuals that, have the skills to do grant writing, teach computers, so forth. I mean, that's extremely impressive. How do you source these volunteers? How do you find these individuals?
Well, good question. A lot of it is word of mouth, just, word of mouth. We do some advertising, as far as like today, talking with you and so forth. But a lot of it is, we do reach out to different organizations and companies, and we talk to their human resource department. So when a person is getting ready to retire, they normally get a retirement package, and, oftentimes we're able to put our brochure, into that. So, they're aware of our program, outreach at all the different vendor shows, senior citizen events, anything like that. But trying to reach the individual that's just going to retire. So basically that's it, just trying to get out there and speaking engagements, so forth. So
RSVP is an acronym, is that right?
Yes. It stands for Retired Senior Volunteer Program. And we have been in existence since 1971. And Westmoreland County Community College has been our sponsor the entire time, which has been wonderful. They lend so much support to the program.
That's wonderful. And what we're doing today is talking a little bit about how you source your volunteers, what kind of work they do. You have a wide variety of work. So if there is an individual who is listening to this program right now and would like to learn more about becoming a volunteer, where can they find that information and how do they connect with you?
They can go to Westmoreland County Community College website and westmoreland.edu/RSVP. And our program information is on there. My name and phone number is on there, as well as an application, but or can just call the college at 925-4000 and ask for RSVP or Amy Halula, and I will get the phone call, and then we can talk about what your interests are and your time that you're available, so forth. We normally then complete the application and then engage in further dialogue again about what you're looking for, and then I go through what organizations that we work with. We have contracts with over 90 different organizations in Westmoreland County that we work with. So I will reach out and see what needs, if a person's looking for something in a particular area of the county, or they're looking for a particular job. I can search through, our organization's requests and so forth, and then I try to make the match, with the organization and the person. I follow up to ensure that it's working, and if not, what else can we look at for them? How can we assist them, and giving back.
And what kind of organizations do you work with? Any big name nonprofits that people would recognize and say, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize that RSVP."
Well, we work with a lot of the Meals on Wheels, United Way, Open Your Heart to a Senior, the various hospitals, all the hospitals in our county, the different hospice groups, various animal shelters. Try to think with Blind Association.
That's tremendous. I mean, what wonderful names and wonderful work being done. And I love your marketing tactic. When someone's retiring, you're saying, "Hey, you're gonna have some time on your hands. You may as well come and work with us." Now, how about that in-person interaction, and how has that changed with COVID?
Oh, it's changed tremendously. Rightfully so, individuals are just not sure about interacting and going out in the community and so forth. So the number of volunteers that, would normally be out in the community, helping with things has dropped tremendously. And the sites that we work with, majority of them are not open to having volunteers back in the facility or where they're working. We are looking for different virtual opportunities for individuals. That's been the areas we've been trying to target with the more isolated senior, and maybe providing them laptops or technology to try to help with things has not really been that successful. Many of them just aren't comfortable, using, computers and that type of thing. We are right now have our volunteers involved with the Meals on Wheels. They're writing Easter cards, and they're going to pass them out with, the week of their Easter meals. So we're doing that with several of them. We continue to work with our veterans groups, outreach. We have a lot that are doing the coupon collecting right now, with the economy and things. Right now, RSVP, I'm organizing, I'm reaching out to them now, a thank you letter, a pack of flower seeds, a new mask with RSVP on it I'm sending out, just to let them know that we still care about everybody, they're still all important, stay safe, and, as time permits, we'll get back to things.
My guest today is Amy Halula. She's the RSVP coordinator at Westmoreland County Community College. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Westmoreland Community Connections on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. If you have a suggestion for a topic, or if your nonprofit organization would like to be featured on this program, call us during regular business hours at 724-216-1200.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.
Welcome back to Westmoreland Community Connections on WHJB. I'm your host, Jennifer Miele. So happy for all of you who are joining us this Sunday to talk about RSVP at Westmoreland County Community College, which is a volunteer organization connected with seniors, as well as APPRISE, which is an organization that helps seniors learn more about their Medicare options. And I'm joined today by Amy Halula, and she's the coordinator at WCCC. She spent the first half of our show telling us about the wonderful service projects that are going on throughout Westmoreland County, thanks to the volunteers for RSVP who are truly committed to the senior population in our community. And Amy, before we leave that topic, I just want one more time, if you're a new retiree or someone who has exited the workforce and are looking to spend some time giving back to the community, how can they get connected with you?
They can call the Westmoreland County Community College at 724-925-4000. They can also go to westmoreland.edu /RSVP. I'm trying to think, Facebook, we have a Facebook page with RSVP. So, any of those ways, I'd love to hear from anyone. We have no time requirement as far as volunteering. If it's 1 hour once a year, if a person likes to volunteer, 20 hours a month, whatever you're looking for, we can try to, accommodate you and find something where, you feel like you're giving back to the community. And certainly, they all are in their own way, helping and so forth.
I really liked what you said about the mission of MVP and really the goal of trying to keep these seniors in their homes as long as possible to remain independent. And, that's an important aspect to remind all of us as the population in Westmoreland County continues to age. I'm sure your volunteers are thinking about that all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And as I said, the safer we can make it for individuals and helping fill in the gaps, where they need help in that, that's where a lot of these individuals are trying to help because, again, you're correct, Jennifer. I'm sure we can see ourselves in that situation and just trying to make it as good as possible.
Amy, I want to move on to the subject of APPRISE and, really keeping seniors apprised of their Medicare. What a confusing time. Every open enrollment period, and I'm not even a senior, although I'm aging. I'm not quite a senior.
You're not there yet.
No, but I can't imagine the flood of information that seniors are being pummeled with. Television, radio, mailers, emails, electronic ads, all of those sorts of things, and it must be really hard for some individuals to sort through that. So tell us about your organization's role in assisting them.
Okay. Well, APPRISE is the state health insurance counseling program. Mm-hmm. So we are through the state and we're subcontracted through the Area Agency on Aging. Mm-hmm. And we have held this contract since the 1980s. So it's been some time. I just wanted to say that myself, as well as the volunteers that do help in taking calls, have had extensive training and ongoing training to stay abreast of what's going on with Medicare regulations, insurances, so forth. But APPRISE we differ than other organizations, or like if you go to the mall and you see an insurance store set up. We are the only organization that is not brokers. We're not brokers. We don't sell. We're certified counselors, but we're not selling any product. Whereas, the other companies, they're brokers and they're selling. So we do have a different perspective and views in the information and how it's presented, and just looking at the whole picture, and what else is out there for individuals other than just the insurance. We look at, are there other programs in the community or assistance programs? Are they eligible for other prescription assistance? We do applications. We work with welfare. We work directly with Social Security. So, individuals that call us aren't just always for what type of insurance should I pick. They are, or, what's best for me, which if they do call us, again, it's like an hour-long at least conversation, understanding, their health background. How often do they go to the doctors? Are they requiring therapies? All that type of thing goes into helping them look at the plans. And we are able to take their medications and everything and look at, through the different plans and pharmacies, what the cost would be, for each thing for them. We can provide them very detailed information, and we can compare them with all the plans offered in the county or the state, whatever they're looking at. So we help them narrow it down, but we never, ever, enroll a person in that. We let them absorb the information, call us back, whatever they want to do, even then go take that to a broker or whatever they want to do, and then they can, pursue signing up for their insurance at that point. As far as the being inundated when the open enrollment comes, oh my gosh, it's crazy, and it's unbelievable. The mail and outreach, like you said, Jennifer, everything, every television ad, so forth. So it's confusing, and you get all this mail, and they feel they have to open it up, and then they read it, and they don't know if they're signed up. Did I do something? And so that's where we come in, and we, or they're answering those questions. We're usually able to call a person back the same day that they call, if not by the next day, definitely. So we try to be very hands-on and helping that person. And again, just having a voice to talk to, trying to explain it to them. When we could, we would do things in person, and go out in the community. We would go twice a week during the open enrollment period and have appointments and sit down with individuals one-on-one and help them, sort through their information and what their needs were. Now, after that time, individuals that are getting ready to retire, they're not sure what their options are. If they didn't sign up at the right time, are they getting a penalty? So forth. So there's just lots of different things that can happen, and that you don't expect, and they call us, and if we don't know the answer, we will try our best to find out. We also do Medicare appeals, all sorts of things. You name it, if it's with health insurance or Medicare, we're usually the first call that they make. And we are advertised usually on, our number is advertised on publications of the Medicare book. Usually a lot of the hospital billing offices have our name on there and the phone number to call, if you have problems or need assistance. And that was, outreach that we've done before. Social Security, Department of Health and Human Services, they all refer to us. So our phones are quite busy with that, especially in the fall. And actually in the spring, we're busy because people, that seems to be a popular time to retire and, wanting to know what to do.
And your volunteers must be, you did talk about that they're extensively trained, but you would have to be extensively trained.
You would have to be, yes. Yes. Our volunteers primarily have been involved. We also have a contract with the state for the state hotline. They call it the telecenter. And there are 12 different counties that we take turns answering phone calls throughout the state every day of the week. And our day, we have our volunteers take these calls that come in, for the day from 9 to 4 once a week. And those are the volunteers usually man those phones for us then. And then during the open enrollment, they're very important in coming in to help with that part also, with not enrolling people, but, counseling them, reviewing the information. So yes, they have to stay on top of all that information.
If an individual does have a question about their Medicare benefits or, what is right for them, all of these things, the appeals, the medication assistance, all of these things, how do they connect with you? What's the number? What's the website? What's the connectivity points?
It would be calling the Westmoreland County Community College at 724-925-4000. And you could ask for the APPRISE program. A lot of people, I'll tell them, just say the Medicare counselor, since a lot of times they forget, the word APPRISE. So I'll just tell them Medicare or health insurance. Also, the website, the website is westmoreland.edu. And then it would be /RSVP. My direct line, though, is 724-925-4213. Again, 925-4213 is my direct line.
And then you're able to sort of triage the calls and send them to, whatever counselor is available and that can help them.
Sometimes, yes. A lot of times during the week, myself and coworker handled those calls directly for the county.
You are a wealth of knowledge, assistant. I can't imagine how much you must be trained and how much knowledge is in your brain about Medicare. And, particularly, again, as the demographics of Westmoreland County continue to age, the work that you do is so important. I hope you feel appreciated, because I very much appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone listening to the show appreciates what you do as well.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
You're so important to the good work happening in Westmoreland County. My guest today was Amy Halula. She is the RSVP coordinator at Westmoreland County Community College. And RSVP is a volunteer organization. We talked today a lot about the mission to enable seniors to remain independent as long as possible. Amy also talked about APPRISE, which has the contract from the state to assist seniors in educating them about their Medicare options. Amy gave some great information. And as a reminder to anyone who is listening right now who would like to volunteer or needs help from APPRISE, you can certainly call Westmoreland County Community College and ask for Amy Halula, ask for the Medicare counselors, and or you can visit the Westmoreland County Community College website. Amy, once again, thank you so much for joining us on WHJB and Westmoreland Community Connections, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you next Sunday.
This has been Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings in and around Westmoreland County. Join us again next week on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.